What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Down South Packers podcast with me, your host, Anthony Boyd. And today we are going to be talking about the Green Bay Packers 2026 schedule. The wait's over. The Packers schedule's finally out. We know who the Packers are going to be playing. We know when the big games are. We know when the lulls in the season are. We know when the off weird days are. So today I'm going to be breaking down the schedule, giving down my personal schedule prediction, what I think the Packers can do on the high end and the low end, just based on a few of these games that I think are swing games. And share some of my optimism about why I think the Packers can have a really good season this season. First off, Packers playing the Minnesota Vikings week 1. Obviously, this kind of got rumored before the schedule officially came out. Packers are playing at 4:25 in Minnesota, first game of the season. Interesting game here because we don't know who the Vikings starting quarterback will be. Hopefully, it's J.J. McCarthy to kind of help the Packers out and let them get started. But if anything, you've seen kind of during OTAs how it looks like it's trending. Kyler Murray looks like he's making better passes than J.J. McCarthy, at least from the outside looking in. The Vikings are posting videos of J.J. McCarthy making passes, but they don't look great. So I'm thinking that Kyler's going to win that job. And with that being said, there's going to be a new burst of energy injected in Minnesota. Unfortunately, I'm going to hate it, but Minnesota's going to be electrified for the first game of the season. We know the Skull Chants are going to be going in Minnesota. With that being said, Green Bay, I think we'll drop this first game of the season, and it's going to raise all these panic alarms. Oh, is Green Bay done? It's the first game of the season out of 17. But people are going to say, is the season over? Green Bay's done after losing the first game. But I think the Green Bay could drop this one, start off the season 0-1, heading into week 2 on the road yet again, this time headed to MetLife to play against the New York Jets. Everyone's favorite field to play on. If you're in the NFL, everyone loves playing at MetLife. But they're playing the Jets. The Jets are the Jets. They have made some moves that show that they're kind of competent here recently, but they're still the Jets. And obviously that's going to take time to turn that program around. Maybe Aaron Glenn can do it. Maybe it'll be another head coach, but they have some talent over there in New York now. Not too concerned, though. 1 o'clock game does scare me. Not a huge fan of a 1 o'clock game, just solely off the fact that we know sometimes Packers teams can wake up a little slow and a little lethargic on a Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. But the Packers will win this game. They're playing the Jets. This is where the Packers start to play decent. They start to wake up a little bit. They don't take this team too easily just because of games like the Panthers game last year where the Packers came out, didn't play well. I think the Jets try to put up a fight. It won't be close, though. Packers might win by double digits this one. Give me Green Bay winning. Starts off the season 1-1. Heading down, game 3 is a Thursday night football game. Love those. Obviously, everyone plays them. Well, most teams play them. But Packers are playing Thursday night against Atlanta at home for the home opener. The Falcons are interesting, and we know their quarterback situation is one that's very interesting. 2 lefties, both of them kind of mid. Not going to be too disrespectful. They're NFL athletes. They're better athletes than me. But 2 lefties aren't that great. Drake London just got a big deal prior to me recording this video. Got it yesterday. But doesn't matter. Green Bay's at home. They're going to beat the Falcons. Thank you, Atlanta, for coming up to Lambeau, giving the Packers their first win. Lambeau's going to be juiced. Packers win this game, advance to 2-1 on the season. Heading down next game, Packers get to travel down to Tampa Bay for a 1 o'clock game. Not a huge fan of this game for the Packers in the schedule because it's kind of a look ahead. You have Chicago the following week. You have to travel down to Tampa Bay. It's still early in the season in Florida. It's October. It's going to be pretty hot. Packers hopefully can stay healthy in this game and not cramp up. And I'm talking cramps and stuff, not serious injuries or anything like that. Hope Green Bay can stay fine and not get too crampy down there in that Florida heat. But I do think Green Bay drops this game just off the fact that Baker Mayfield tends to play really well early on in the season. Mecca Ibuka showed that he's a pretty good receiver last year. They added, what's his name, Ted Hurst, I believe, from Georgia State, the really fast receiver a lot of Packers people wanted. They have some weapons down there. Todd Bowles is going to have his defense playing pretty good. Obviously, Vita Vea on the defensive side. They lost Levante David, but they have some pieces that they added. So I could see Green Bay losing this one in a close one. Not too upset. They start off the season 2-2 at that point. You lose 2 games on the road. That's fine. You've protected home turf up until this point. And with that being said, we're a quarter of the way through the schedule. I want you guys to take some time, if you don't mind, press the subscribe button for me. It means a lot to me. Support the channel. We're trying to grow here, grow our own little community over here at Down South Packers and the Down South Sports Enterprise as a whole. I'm going to shout out my boy Down South Bills. Go listen to him too. If you're somehow a Packers and Bills fan or have some kind of Packers and Bills connection, go support him. But thank you guys for listening to the video. And with that being said, let's hop right back into the schedule prediction. Week 5, Green Bay's playing against Chicago. This is one that's circled on the calendar, I'm sure, for the Packers. More importantly, it's circled for the Bears because they treat this like their Super Bowl every time they play against Green Bay. 4:25 at home. Chicago's coming to town. Micah Parsons said today that he'll be back mid-October. I don't know if that means this game or not. He probably won't be 100% to get a full rep count in this game anyways. He'll be out there on a pitch count. But if Micah Parsons played, that'd be huge. He didn't get the chance to play against Chicago last year. I'd love for him to have a chance to play in this rivalry and for it to be in Lambeau. But if he's not ready to go, I don't think it matters. I think you have some dogs on that defensive line that I'm starting to believe in. There's a lot of Josh Sweat noise. I don't care either way, whether or not they get Josh Sweat. I believe in some of the young guys. I've said that. But I think Green Bay pulls out the win. Green Bay beat Chicago at home. Left a bad taste in their mouth. Keyshawn Nixon talked about it. I think it was today during the press time in the locker room. They asked Keyshawn Nixon, how he felt about the Bears, and he said he pretty much said what I said, that it's their Super Bowl, and they treat it like that. And we have the Packers. I'm not on the team, but the Packers have bigger goals and ambitions than to just beat Chicago. But I do think they'll want to win this one just based on how the season ended last year in Chicago, blowing a lead to a team that should have lost to them, and just not making enough plays down the stretch in the last 2 games against Chicago. So I think Chicago loses this game to Green Bay. The Packers start off at 3-2. After that win, you have another big game coming up the week after that. Obviously, Dallas and Green Bay. That's always a hotly contested game, usually, except for the playoff game. A couple years ago, Jordan Love just blew those guys out. But Dallas coming to town. Dallas has a really good team. Jerry's kind of building over there, I can't lie. Someone else must be taking control, or ChatGPT is currently running the Dallas Cowboys. Something weird's going on because the Dallas Cowboys have a competent football team. With that being said, don't know what's going on with George Pickens. I would assume he's going to play under the franchise tag. He's come out and said that he's going to play under the franchise tag. I don't think he's going to demand a trade or anything to try to force his way out of Dallas. And Jerry seems like he really likes having George Pickens on the team, and who wouldn't? So George Pickens will probably be there. You have George, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, who I think is one of the most underrated quarterbacks of football. Heading to their defensive side, they have 2 former Packers and Kenny Clark and Rashawn Gary. RG will probably try to get some kind of get back on Green Bay for trading him away, but RG didn't play well in his time in Green Bay here down the stretch, so he can't really take it too personally. The effort wasn't there on the field, and if you're not performing, you're going to get traded. That's how football works. It's a meritocracy. You have to perform well in order to keep your position, and he was getting paid way too much money to not have production opposite of Micah Parsons. And I don't have any hatred towards RG. I thought he was a really good player for Green Bay, and one of Jordan Love's biggest supporters whenever he started becoming the starting quarterback. So big love for RG, big love for Kenny Clark. Those guys helped this Packers team for a while there, but they'll be looking to get their get back after the tie last year that the Packers had with Dallas in Dallas. I think the Packers win this game. It's a Sunday night football game. Jordan Love typically plays really, really well in Sunday night football games. When the lights are the brightest on Sunday nights, he comes to play, and the Packers will start off the season at this point 4-2. I have them through 6 games, and it's been a few tough wins in there. So I like that at 4-2. Hopping down game 7, week 7, you have Packers heading to Detroit. Jordan Love in a dome, kind of a dog. I'm not betting against him. Detroit should have a sour taste in their mouth because the Packers handled them pretty well last year. Detroit's a tough team. Dan Campbell's a tough coach. They have talent. Jared Goff's not a bad quarterback. Jahmyr Gibbs is really good at running back. They have Amon-Ra, who hates Green Bay. He's on the back burner for me in terms of people that I'm focused on disliking right now. Just Chicago's front and center. with how much trash they've talked. And Caleb Williams got graced with the Madden cover this morning. And the Madden Standard Edition is him with his throw to Rome Odunze in the wild card game. So that one, Chicago's public enemy number 1 right now. But Detroit, Amon-Ra is public enemy number 2. I'm not going to forget about you over there. And my father-in-law is a huge Lions fan, so I'm going to crap on the Lions when I get the chance to. But tough team, not too concerned. They tried to improve their offensive line some. They drafted Blake Miller out of Clemson as a Clemson fan. Saw Blake Miller play, started every game. Really good player. Don't know if it's enough, though. By this time, Micah Parsons is back. I think this defensive line is starting to find their footing at this point. And Penei Sewell's going to have a day trying to contain Micah Parsons. He's not great against Micah. Micah usually eats his lunch every time they play. The rest of the D-line hopefully can feast, get after Jared Goff. That's obviously what's big when you're stopping Jared Goff is keeping him immobile. He's not the most mobile guy in the first place, but if you get pressure on him, it's obvious that Jared Goff isn't as great as a quarterback as he is when he has a clean pocket. I think we saw that in the playoffs against the Commanders a few years ago. Washington got pressure on him, and he was out there like Sam Darnold seeing ghost. He was struggling left and right, and if Green Bay can get pressure on him, kind of like they did last year, and bottle up Jahmyr Gibbs like they did last year, then I think the Packers have a great chance of winning this game. And Jordan Love's in a dome, like I already stated. Packers win, advance to 5-2 on the season. Following week, they get to go play a Thursday night game against Carolina on Amazon. This one will be personal for the Packers, I'd assume, to some extent. You know, they lost this game last year to the Panthers, a game where they came out sleepy. The run defense was not there at all. Rico Dowdle ran for 200, I believe. He had a crazy game on the ground. That can't happen again. I don't think it will happen again. Chuba Hubbard, great back. Obviously, Rico's gone now for Carolina. Jonathan Brooks, a running back they drafted a few years ago, seems to be healthy. I like him coming out of Texas. I don't think it's the same running game that they had last year against Green Bay. Bryce Young seemed to have taken a step last year in being a competent quarterback in the NFL. He had 100 passing yards against the Packers, though. Packers win this game on a Thursday night. Get a little mini bye heading into the following week, week 9, heading to New England to play the New England Patriots. 4:25 game, nationally televised, probably Tom Brady. I'm sure he'll be on the call. But this is one where I could see Green Bay losing. Green Bay struggling a little bit with this one. New England's a good football team. I think they improved from their roster last year. Problem is their schedule's a little tougher than it was last year, so we'll see kind of what this New England team's made out of. I don't think they're a bad football team, though, with that being said. Mike Vrabel's a pretty good coach. Drake May's a good quarterback. He proved that. Now, I'm not going to put him top 5 like everyone else seemingly does after one quarterback has a good season. Everybody gets the benefit of the doubt except for Jordan Love. Jordan Love's the only person that can't have a good season and get away with it. Everything Jordan Love does wrong is critiqued, but I'm not going to get on that soapbox right now. New England, I think, wins this game. Romeo Doubs gets to play against the Packers. I don't think it's a revenge game for Romeo. He talked about it. I think it was at his introductory press conference in New England where he said this isn't any kind of hate towards Green Bay. That team kind of made me. They kind of helped me become who I was able to be and get paid here at New England. So he has no ill will towards Green Bay. But I do think he'll want to play well. Obviously playing against his former team, playing against some of his old friends. New England gets this win. The Packers drop to their 3rd loss of the season. At this point, making them 5-3, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, 6-3. 6-3 at this point. Packers are 6-3 after playing New England. Week 10, the Packers get to have Minnesota come to them later in the season, which I love. I love when division teams come to Lambeau later in the year versus coming to Lambeau early in the season. Lambeau's obviously it can be a home field advantage with the cold. It has hurt Green Bay before in the past as well. But for the most part, it's a home field advantage. So these teams that started building domes, Minnesota and Detroit, if you can get them in the cold later in the season, I love it. Here, November 15th, we have Minnesota coming to town to play against Green Bay. Again, similar kind of rundown with the two team with Minnesota. We know kind of unexpected quarterback situation. Don't know who it's going to be. But I think Green Bay wins this one as well. They sweep Minnesota on the season. I don't know what to expect out of Minnesota. They got Jawan Jennings, who I think can add to their receiver room, a pretty good receiver room already that has Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. But I don't know if it's enough to get Green Bay this year. Minnesota's going to be a weird spot, I feel, moving forward. I think Kyler is going to be their long-term starting quarterback. I don't want to speak too much on another team's situation. I'm not locked into their fan base as much as I am in Green Bay, but Green Bay wins this game. I guess their 7th win of the season heading into their bye week. This bye week is cut just a little short because Green Bay has to play Week 12 in Los Angeles against the Rams. What a game to have to play against. What a team to have to play against, I should say. The Rams obviously just traded for Aaron Donald, which is ridiculous. Added him to that team that's already loaded. Now they did have to give away Jared Verse, which is okay. If you're getting but Myles Garrett. They have a boost of energy that the Packers had. Obviously, when the Packers got Micah last year, there's a jolt of energy that goes into the fan base. The Rams don't have that many fans anyways, but if you give them a Myles Garrett, I'm sure they'll be super excited about it. However, this is later in the season. I want to note that it's November, the end of November by the time they're playing, the day right before Thanksgiving. Standalone game on Thanksgiving Eve. Both teams, will see where they're at health-wise at this stage of the season. Usually by now, teams are starting to have some attrition, and you're going to see some guys dropping off and people battling through injuries to keep playing. Interested to see where both teams are at this point, but we're going to take it at face value and say both teams are healthy and able to play. I think the Packers will give the Rams a run for their money, but I think what's his name? My dog's distracting me over there. I think Sean McVay gets his first win over Matt LaFleur as a head coach. So Rams win this one. The Packers have their 4th loss of the season at this point. Following week and a half later, the Packers travel down to New Orleans to play, playing in a dome. Jordan Love's a dome baller. Playing against the Saints, who showed some signs of life at the end of last year, starting Tyler Shuck. You had Chris Olave. You got Alvin Kamara. I mean, the team's decent. No, they're not decent. They added Travis Etienne, or Etienne, I think is how you pronounce it. Added him to the team this year. I think they'll be better than they were last year, but it's the NFC South, and those teams aren't generally great. New Orleans advances, gets a little better, but they can't knock off Green Bay. This is Jordan Love's first game in the Superdome. I think he plays well. 1 o'clock game. Goes down there, balls out, and puts up big numbers. And I think that kind of sets him up at this point. The Packers, when they win the New Orleans game, at this point, they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games. They won 8 games, lost 4. So they're 8-4, kind of floating around like winning the division type of level as long as they can finish the season out strong. Jordan Love puts up big numbers in this New Orleans game, and I think his MVP case can continue. And I'm rooting for Jordan Love for MVP this year. I know he has the talent to do it. I said he's a top 10 quarterback, and people wanted to berate me for it. I think he has all the physical intangibles, the physical tools and the intangibles, I should say, to become a really good elite level quarterback in the NFL. And this season, with health being on his side, I think that Jordan Love will prove to everybody that he is a top 10 quarterback, arguably top 5 quarterback by the end of the season. He just wins. Hasn't had a losing season as a starter and has been in the playoffs all 3 years. So MVP case gets stronger here in New Orleans, I believe. Following week, Sunday Night Football against the year before, league MVP, Josh Allen. We all know who Josh Allen is. He's a beast. He's a great quarterback, top 2 probably in the NFL right now. They also have James Cook, who I believe led the league in rushing last year and was a monster on the ground. Joe Brady really got the ball in James Cook's hands. I think that was a little bit of Sean McDermott, who really wanted James Cook to run the ball more, get the ball out of Josh's hands a little bit. But James Cook had a great season. They added DJ Moore, who's the Packers killer. Packers struggled guarding him last year. But Sunday Night Football, again, I'm taking Jordan Love. He's at home. I think this is Josh Allen's first time in Lambeau. I might be wrong on that. I feel like it's his first time in Lambeau. Someone let me know in the comments if I'm right or wrong on that. But the Packers win this game. Very close game. And this win does something for the Packers season. Beating Buffalo gets the Packers on people's radars. People want to undercut the Packers and what they do a lot of the times. But if they beat a team who everyone sees, I think they're the number 2 and they have the number 2 betting odds and winning the Super Bowl this season. Green Bay gets their attention, gets the media's attention. People start talking about Green Bay a little bit more. They start to, again, respect Jordan Love. The MVP case continues to grow. Jordan Love has a decent game against Buffalo, 250 yards, couple touchdowns, no interceptions. Just has a few wow throws. Obviously, we see the wow throws are what matters and not consistency. Madden cover. But Jordan Love continues to play well. They beat Buffalo. They're up to 9 wins, 4 losses on the season. But Miami comes to town the following week. Jeff Hafley, Malik Willis coming back to Green Bay. Miami doesn't have anything besides A-Chain. They traded everything else away. So it's Malik Willis, A-Chain, and the Misfits with Jeff Hafley. John Eric Sullivan's trying to build a team down there. Chris Bell, receiver, is very fast, I will say, and I saw a video of him moving really fast in camp, well, not camp, but OTAs. Still not enough. They're not coming to Lambeau to win. I'm sorry. Packers win this game and advance to 10-4 on the season with another game, big game coming up. You get to play at Chicago, and initially I had the Packers losing this game in my head, going to Soldier Field for one of the last few times they'll be doing it on Christmas Day. It's a Friday game, 1:00, such a weird time to play. I had the Packers losing this game at first, but I don't know if the Packers drop this game against Chicago. They're going to be looking to sweep these boys with the amount of stuff that's going on, the little brother syndrome that the Bears have. The Packers are going to want to get a win, and they're going to want to sweep them. Ben Johnson and the weirdo stuff that he did last year. The Packers' main goal isn't to beat the Bears, but every time you get the opportunity to beat the Bears and show them that you're still the Packers, you're going to want to do it. This is another win for the Packers. They go into Chicago at 1:00. Micah is here. He dominates this game. Caleb Williams does all the running around crap that he tries to do. Micah's not going for it. Lucas Van Ness, if he's having a great season, is also there to feast. His first career sack was against Chicago, I'm pretty sure. And Justin Fields. So the Packers win this game. Chicago goes down 0-2 for the season, and they can hopefully realign what they care about the most, and it's not beating Green Bay, and it's actually just winning football games and having a completion percentage over 60% at least, maybe getting 4,000 passing yards, and not worrying about Green Bay. Hopefully that's what they're focused on from this point on after getting swept by Green Bay in the regular season. Ben Johnson can keep his weirdo energy. Moving on, the Packers have now won, in my season, 11 football games up until this point at Week 16. Week 17, the Packers host on Monday Night Football the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud. I'm rooting for you, brother. I think you're a really good guy. You seem like a really good guy in the locker room. People like you. People pick on you a lot. It's because you played bad the past few seasons. I think you're a decent quarterback, but the last time I saw you, you were a shell of yourself. I don't know who that was compared to rookie year CJ. You struggled mightily against New England, and you look like you forgot how to play quarterback. With that being said, their defense is elite, and DeMeco Ryans is going to have those boys buzzing. You have Will Anderson. You have Danielle Hunter on the opposite side. They add the defensive tackle, Caden McDonald from Ohio State. Lassiter's a really good corner on the back end. They have some fun pieces on that defense, and they're really, really good at football. Derek Stingley, I'm sorry, I excluded Derek Stingley. That's crazy, LSU guy. But with that being said, I think the Packers win solely off the fact that the Texans' offense does not put a lick of fear in me at all. I don't get worried about the Texans' offense. It's not scary. There's nothing scary about it. I think their offense will struggle in the cold, Monday night, in January in Lambeau. Green Bay is going to win that game. They have 12 wins, 4 losses at this point in the season. Looking really, really good. And if this is the case, 12-4, I'm going to keep pushing it. Jordan Love will be MVP or be in MVP talks and get a lot of respect because he's had to play well to get through this rough stretch of games that they have on the back half of the season. Packers are 12-4 though. Last game of the season is a flex game. We don't know when it'll be, but we know it's against Detroit at home. Detroit's a really good football team, like I said earlier. Not going to harp too much on what I already kind of touched on earlier in the video, but I will say Detroit gets Green Bay in this game to finish the season. I would love Green Bay to finish with 13 wins. However, I don't think that's very feasible just with the gauntlet of games here on the back end that are kind of sprinkled in. You have some tough teams that you're playing in the back half of the year. Green Bay finishes at 12-5. I could very well see them finishing at 11-6, but I'm going to be optimistic and say they finish 12-5 with their 5 losses being the first game of the season against Minnesota, second loss being to Tampa Bay, playing that 1 o'clock game down in Tampa, the third loss being in New England, fourth loss being against this Monstars, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Myles Garrett, Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, golly, Kobe Turner defense that they have in Los Angeles, fourth loss there. And then the last loss of the season being against the Detroit Lions. Packers put up a fight, have a really good regular season. I think they have a good amount of momentum to go into the postseason with. Prayerfully, 12-5 can get them a first round bye. I don't think so, though. I think 13 wins is going to get you the first round bye. But if they can host a home game in Lambeau, which Jordan Love has not had the opportunity to do as a starting quarterback, I think that'll be huge late in the season. Let him play in Lambeau, hosting whoever at that point. Don't know. I don't have a full season prediction on who I think is going to win every game, but yeah, give me the Packers being 12-5 on the season. I'll be confident in that, and maybe they can go on a run in the playoffs, win a Super Bowl, kind of continue this upward trajectory that they've been on, and hopefully health stays on the Packers side. As long as health stays on the Packers side, I think 12-5 is a very feasible outcome. People are going to hate on me saying they're going to be 12-5, but I'm okay with it. I'll take the heat. Thank you guys for listening to the video. It means a lot to me. Again, like I said earlier, please like and subscribe. Comment. Let me know what you think the Packers schedule is going to be. I already did this with Eddie on the Beer and Ball show, but I wanted to come do it on my channel after I thought about it a little more, and there's been some recent updates with some of these teams. Green Bay finishes 12-5, finishes strong. Let me know your thoughts on it. I love you guys. Thank you again for listening, and as always, go Pack Go.